What's up, everybody? Welcome back to RCA, that is RC Abroad. It's been a while. I'm back with a couple of new segments working on. Took some time off, was back in the US for about a month. Got to play with my cars back there. That was really fun. Went flying with my dad, so got to get some airplane action in. So back in China and ready to get back to hopefully reviewing some new kits for you guys and going over some of the stuff behind me as well. So we got here a new project, my first project getting started since coming back from holiday. This is a chassis I picked up off of Shenyu, which is like our eBay here, mostly all secondhand goods. This is a Yokomo MR4TC SD. That's quite a mouthful, right? But it's an old touring car chassis from Yokomo from about the early to mid 2000s, as I understand it, and did some research before I purchased it. I bought it for 100 RMB on Shenyu, which is about $16 US. So it's in pretty rough shape, at least the photos were. So let's get the box open and see what we really got. All right, so back there is an old Team Losi Mini T project I'm working on. That's for another day. First, I'm gonna get into this. I've been waiting for this. The seller I bought it from suffered a leg injury and couldn't ship for a few days, so I was waiting for about a week or so before he finally got it shipped out to me. Like I said, the photos looked pretty rough. That's why it was only $15. And let's see what we got. Okay, first off, yep, it's pretty rough. These are, let's move the camera here. All right, so what do we got here? We got these strange metal body posts held on with some Phillips head screwdrivers. This does seem to be all Phillips hardware, which I'm not a huge fan of. This seems to have borrowed from the associated TC3 chassis a little bit. The heat sink here and the cutouts on there and the battery strap tie down. Let's get in. Let's see what we got. Some more strange metal, rusty metal body posts. So everything is here. It's fully intact. It's got drift tires on it. Seen lots of use. So apparently this uses a drift chassis at some point. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that the MR4TC was a standard touring car for racing, for track use, not drift, but Yokomo being the drift brand they are, obviously well adapted. Everything, shocks seem okay. Obviously lots of use, signs of use, which he said on the in the description, it said slight signs of use. But that's what you get with this hobby, right? For $15, $20, what can you expect? But everything seems to be there. I got my steering horn here, which is an interesting design. Some sort of servo saver on there. I'll probably just swap that out for a servo horn. Yeah, not much else to say. I've already got electronics to go in here. A couple of brushless receivers. Hobby ring. Probably go with this Hobby Wing Quick Run 10BL 120. I also got this T-Rex 120 amp Basher ESC. It works. Not sure what the brand, but I haven't had any issues with it yet. I pulled this out of one of my short course trucks. And I've also, for the motor wise, I've got a 13.5 Reedy Sonic that I can put in, or this 3660 3100 kV surpass motor, which I pulled out of my old 727, the slash clone. So one of these motors will be in there, probably the Reedy, just because size wise, and it's got standard 3.175 shaft, not the big honking 5mm, right? And also it's a Reedy in a touring car, makes sense. And I've got this DG Lilo, it's a Chinese discount brand. I actually like their servos. It's a 9 kg. They're very cheap and affordable, and I've never had an issue with them. This is a digital core, right? 9 kg, not super powerful, but nice and quick. So I'll be putting that in there as well. So the whole point of this build in general is to use what parts I have laying around in the workshop. I've got all these brushless motors, ESCs, extra electronics laying around, so I need something to put them in. But first step is going to be a strip down, tear down, get all these rusted metal parts into some white vinegar, try and clean them up a bit. Have to figure out some actual body posts, get rid of these damn metallic ones. Never seen that before. But the shocks seem like generic threaded aluminum, but seem okay. I check the oil in there. As for the orange wheels, don't know. It is a vintage Yokomo Japanese chassis, so I might go with a vintage JDM body. I've got a Datsun 510 on the wall, a couple of drift bodies, excuse me. And I've got a Lancer Evo 7 rally car as well, if I want to go rally with it. And I'll get you some progress updates on the build as I go. Like I said, first steps first, getting it cleaned up. So hit it with a paintbrush, some WD-40, clean this plastic a bit, get some of these rusty turnbuckles and stuff into some white vinegar, strip that rust off, and yeah, look forward to updates on this. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.